All right, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors and salutations to the apostles and elders of GMS. Also, shalom to the hopeful elect. All you Akim and Aqua that be listening to the videos, I say shalom to you. This is your brother Kalak Har, coming at you with another video dealing with the women. Mainly, women of the day, and how, our women, that's the Israelite women, they've been corrupt and, with, especially by Esau, you can take it back to the garden and, where Eve ate the apple. It wasn't an actual apple. It was, here, let's get it. That'll just be a simple lesson. Just got a couple of scriptures. So I'm dealing with the women of, was back then and some women now, and just the way of our women right now. It's getting out. It's been getting out of hand, but it's out of hand. Like, what you see on TV now, and the videos and YouTube and all that stuff with the women. It's just, the men too. Don't get me wrong. No, we got to get on the men too. But this video is about you women. So, the women. I'm not talking to these women that's out there doing the right thing. It's to the women that's not doing the right thing. These scriptures are coming to you. But let's get Genesis, start at the first verse. Genesis 3. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. So when it goes into the serpent right there, so you have 5 levels of knowledge. You have monkey, you got the parrot, you got the frog, you got the owl, and then you got the dragon serpent. So the monkey is monkey see, monkey do. You see somebody do something, you copy it. Parrot, it mimics it. It hears something and it says the same thing. Second. The third is a toad, frogs, because frogs are stubborn. In Florida, when the frogs would come out, would throw big, huge rocks at them, and they wouldn't move. Until they get plastered with a stone. And his buddy sitting right there is like, whatever. You could put them in a boiling pot of water, and they won't move. Because they're stubborn. They'll be like, oh, this is a jacuzzi getting hot. I'll be trying to jump out of that. It's boiling water. Then you have the owl. The owl can see in the dark. So basically it can see through spirits. It can see spirits through this flesh, through these bags, through these carnal vessels. You can see through them. And then you got your dragon serpent. That's the highest level of knowledge, on the left hand side. So if we go back to Genesis 3:1, now the serpent was more subtle. Subtle meaning he was more sneaky. He was more crafty. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord, in caps, Yahweh, the Most High, had made. And he said unto the woman, have the Most High said, you should not eat of every tree of the garden? Verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Verse 3. And when she go back to verse 2, when she said we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. See, like trees, sometimes trees are reference to people in the Bible. So, and the woman said unto the serpent, the left hand higher knowledge, we may eat fruit, the fruit the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of these different nations, these trees that's in the garden, these different nations, these different what I want to say, these different philosophies and different things of the world. She said we can learn that. We can learn that. Verse 3, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High said, you should not eat of, neither shall you touch it, lest ye should die. So the Most High is saying, yo, don't mess with that language, don't mess with that culture over there. Don't go over there following that, because once you learn about that, it's a wrap, Verse 4, and the serpent said unto the woman, you shall not surely die. Verse 5, for the Most High doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And that goes back to the balance, this is the Most High's movie, so he gonna spin it and do whatever he wants with it. So, the Most High's abomination, it's abomination to have an unbalance. But in this sense, evil is being brought into the world of the Israelites, the chosens, through the woman, and I know you women out there, you can get mad, or that's the way the Most High drew it up, and like I said earlier, this is a video about the women, and we got to get on the women as far as you got to get on the men too, but like I said, this is about the women. Verse 6, and when the woman saw the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to her eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat, her husband being Adam. Verse 7, and the eyes of both of them were open, and they knew what they were naked, and sewed fig leaves together, making themselves aprons. But you get the point, is that the woman got tricked. The woman got tricked into taking on the philosophies and knowledge of the world, and told her husband Adam, and Adam went along with it. So therefore, they knew they were naked. They had shame, and they wanted to cover themselves up. If we go back into Genesis 2, go down to 18. Let's start at 17. But of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat, for in the day thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Verse 18, and the Lord Yahweh, the Most High, said, it is not good for man to be alone, I will make him a help for him. And out of the ground the Lord formed, and out of the ground Yahweh, the Most High, formed every beast of the field, and every fowl of the air, and brought them into Adam, to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called them, living creature, that was the name thereof. But the point I'm making is, man should not be alone, I will make a help for him. And that's talking about Eve, she came from the rib. That means she came from the same line of people. She came from that chosen line of people. Not that the Most High made Adam fall into a deep sleep. He put on a lab coat, put on rubber gloves, and got the little knife out and cut Adam's rib open, and then he formed a woman. That's folklore. That's BS, man. People still believing in that, but like I said, we're here to tear that stuff down, and tear down the lies, that fairy tale shit. That's but the woman, which the word woman goes back to waif, which is it goes back to servant, you know. And when you hear the word servant, you think, oh, well, B, make me a sandwich. B, go wash my clothes. B, go to the store and buy me some food. Or, B, make me some dinner. No, it's not like that. Yes, you are a servant to your husband, but it's not in the form of you're a slave to him or anything like that. Yes, the man is the head of the woman. We can get that. I believe that's in Corinthians. Might be. But let's get another precept as far as like the women of today. Now, if we was to Google, let's just women of today. Salakia. I'm just going off the spirit. Let's go to images. Women of the day. All types of, different women. Got Oprah in there. Some demons in here. That word demon goes back to intelligence. Let's go. Black women. See all the sisters. Now, you saw women of the day. You saw, a little diversity in there. Then you see black women of the day now. Rapper. These women of the day that's rapping, they talk about WAP. They talk about what's she talk about? Munching or whatever. This Ice Spice girl. We don't know what to call that, but you know what she talking about? WAP, and look at the blonde hair on them. This is what our people follow. Our people are into. Nevertheless, I know we're still in a wicked world, but our women has been bamboozled by the so-called white man. Just like when it goes back to the garden. Look at all of this. And it's teaching our youth. Our youth is looking at this and say they want to be that. They want to have, this type of hair. That's not us. Having blonde hair is a curse from the Lord. So when our sisters do this orange and this blonde and blue and all of this stuff, it's out of order. And one might say, "Oh no, they're fine. They're expressing themselves," but we at the bottom. We at the bottom. We at the bottom. So if we can go back to the scriptures, that's why let's get Jeremiah. That's why it says this in Jeremiah. Salakia. 31. Uh, 31 and 20, I think. 20, hold on. Salakia. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Jeremiah 31:22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou black sliding daughter? For the Lord Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. So back in the ancient times, women was not, I want to say back in our times and stuff, like the women was, not in the place they're in now. I mean, if you look back in history and everything like that, when the women start to get on top, that's when a society started to crumble. And like, these are facts. I mean, you can look through the Roman times, you can look through the Greek times, you can look through a lot of times, and when women start to come into power, that's when kingdoms start to fall. And one might say, like, you can't say that, and that's wrong and that's not right and all this, but it's just facts. Right now the earth mourns because the wicked is in control, but when the righteous rule, everybody will be happy. People are upset because the wicked are in control, and they're doing all of this stuff, and it's contrary to the creator, to Yahweh, through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. It's out of order, it's because the wicked are ruling. So everything is going to be out of order. That's why the Lord is telling us here that he's going to put a new thing in the earth, which the Lord is doing this, a woman should surpass a man. So you're going to have women making more money than men, women in executive office seats, women, neck and neck with men, and, they're fighting for equality and feminists and all of that stuff. Like when Esau, like the scriptures say, the devil has but a short time. Esau finna come down with punishment. He finna come down hard because the Lord gonna give him that spirit to do that. He already got it in the spirit, but the Lord gonna put him in that spirit. So sorry, I got cut off. Shalom. I got cut off because I had an incoming call, so I had to put that on do not disturb. But back to what I was saying, Esau gonna come down, and all the feminists and I don't need a man, I'm independent, I can live on my own, I can do it on my own and stuff like that. I mean, that's gonna be out the window. I mean, first and foremost, you're gonna need a man of the Lord. You're not just gonna need any man, you're gonna need a man of the Lord, because that man of the Lord is gonna be protection. And if we go into what's the scripture? I gotta find it. Bear with me. Slovakia. Okay, I found it. Yeah. It was 1 Corinthians 11. That's a lot. Let me start at the beginning. 1 Corinthians 11:1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Hamashiach. Apostle Paul is writing a letter to the Corinthians, to the Israelites in Corinth, Greece. It's not to everybody that's in Greece, that's was living in Corinth. It's just written to the followers, like it say, be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Hamashiach. So be ye followers of Apostle Paul, also because he's a follower of Hamashiach, Christ, who isn't called Christ today. Now, verse 2, now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things and keep the ordinance as I deliver them to you. Verse 3, but I will have you know that every head of man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is the Most High. So women, you should be following your man. If I'm not saying if your man beating you over the head and he treating you wrong and stuff that you should be following no matter what. No, get your crazy. I mean, we under the curses. So, you got to talk to the Lord about that. I can't tell you to leave your man because, what the Lord brings together, you can't bring asunder. Can't pull it apart, we living in a lot. That's Daniel 12 and let's get it real quick. Daniel 12 and 13, but go thou ways to the end, B, for thou shalt rest and stand in the light in the end of days. So you're going to be where you're supposed to be in these times. And nothing can change that. But like I said, you got to pray to the Lord you got to pray to the Lord, especially if you don't have a man of the Lord, or if he's not in these scriptures and doing the work, it's gonna be tough. That's why I say in Isaiah 4 and 1, and that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we shall eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name and take away our reproach, our shame. So in this time, 7 women, that's mean completion. That don't mean like you're gonna get 7 women, or you might have 100 women, you might have 50 women, you might have 2 women, you might have just 1 woman. It's just a completion, of that time, of what's gonna be happening. But 7 women shall take hold of one man. And not meaning like, oh, I'm gonna get 7 women, I'm gonna have sex with 7 women in these end times. It's like that should be the least thing on your mind. It's gonna be for protection, because you gotta understand that 1/3 women and children, 1/3 men, women, and children are gonna be that believe are gonna be, that's part of the elect. And then you got your 144,000 men. So that it's more women than men on this planet. So a lot of women that's going to be saved in these times is going to have to run and be with the men of the Lord. That's for protection, because that's how the Lord going to set it up, So you women out there, you need to be believers in this word and take on to this word, 100%. Put it in your hearts, have the Lord put the Spirit on you, because the time is short. It's time to wake up out of sleep. Romans 13:11. Here, we can get that real quick. Romans 13:11, and that knowing that the time now it is high time to wake up out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we ever believed. So it's time to hold, it's that time. We're in those times. Let's get Proverbs 21 and 9. Salakia. Proverbs 21 and 9. It's better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. Let's see if we can get that in another version. Christian Standard Version, or better to live in the corner of the roof than share a house with a nagging wife. ESV, is better to live in the corner of the housetop than a house shared with a quarrelsome wife. Say the same thing. ASV, it's better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a contentious white woman in a wide house. And we got it in Spanish for you. But you get the point. It's better to be in the wilderness than be with a woman that's mad all the time and brawling in the house. You're not gonna get any peace doing that. Especially you're gonna be irritated. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna do something stupid. That's why in Edris, first Edris, let me bring that out. Like I said, this is basic scriptures. I'm just trying to do the basics right now until I get into that meat, that tender meat stage. But I'm still sucking from the breast of the milk. But I understand. So if I understand this, why I'm not teaching it. So I gotta be teaching if I understand. That's the can't get around that. This is first Esdras 4:26. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Verse 27. Many also perish and erred in sin for women. So yeah, many men have did the unthinkable for women and become servants for their sake. So you running behind a woman all day, you tending to her needs all the time. You worried about her, you thinking about her. Like, let's get one thing straight. There's no such thing as cheating for the man. If a woman has a man and she goes sleep with another man, that is adultery. But if a man has a woman and he goes sleep with another woman, that is not adultery. Now, with that said, there's a balance to that. You can't just be like, okay, I got a woman and God said it was okay that I can go sleep with multiple women, because you got to take that with you got to be wise about it. Now, the word marriage goes back to join together. So what joins you together? Intimacy, sex. So if you're out there, I'm not talking about one night stands and booty calls and all of this stuff like that. No, if you're doing that, you're going off. You've been promiscuous. You wanting this. You're going towards the flesh. All stuff that's just gonna get you destroyed and perished. That's why I say many have also perished and erred and sinned for women, because you have a woman and then another woman comes around and you're mess with this woman, right? So you right there, you're committing, you're fornicating, and in the flesh way, you're fornicating with flesh. You don't want to be with that woman. You just want some sex from her, and you gotta understand that's not the right way to go about things. That's not the right way to have a mindset, because like I said, that's just going off and it's going to get you destroyed. Now you have a woman and then you lay down with another woman and y'all keep laying down and all of that. Well, that now technically that is your wife. Y'all enjoy each other, y'all talk and stuff like that. Is your wife. Now you have another wife. You have two wives that you have to take care of. You got a wife that's over, you live with, and then you're gonna have another. It don't add up. It would never add up. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So yes, you can have multiple wives, but do you have time to take care of them? Do you have time to be in equal, conversation with both of them? No, not in these times. That's why it goes back to Jeremiah, the woman shall pass, because in the past, that was not frowned upon. They would look at them and be like, today, in your African countries, your Arab countries, your Indian countries, and stuff like that, they do that. But the world look at it as like, what the hell? Even the so-called, or I wouldn't say so-called, but the Mormons, they have the multiple wives and whatnot, and they do their deal, But there's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, there's a level to it. You're not finna go out here and say, well, okay, tell this woman. And matter of fact, and not only that, you're lying. If you're not telling the woman that you're with now, if you're not telling her about the woman that you're laying down with, I mean, you're lying. So you're all jacked up. So that's why I say a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So you got to get back on track while, trying to understand that. That's why these scriptures don't lie. If you follow the scriptures, you'll be fine. But if you want to go your own way, hey, you're gonna perish, because many have perished and have erred and have sinned for the woman. Let me make sure this is okay. It's on. We can go to, let's go to 1 Corinthians, because the women in the churches, like I said, Jeremiah, you got women pastors, women teachers now. You got all types of things in this world, and that's contrary to the Most High. And people are gonna say, well, why can't a woman do this? And it's like, it's not up to us. We're just the messengers telling you what's going on and what the Most High wants. Because look, you gotta understand, Yahushua is the mediator between us and the Most High. The way we get to the Most High is through Yahushua. So if Yahushua spent talking his word and he come in the volume of the book, the whole book, I mean, then the whole book is true. There's nothing you can do to get around that. So you can get mad and say, curse the Lord, but like in Job, his wife cursed the Lord because he gave you all of that, hard time and all of that stuff. And said, you crazy woman, I would never do anything like that. So this is 1 Corinthians 14:34. Let your women keep silent in the churches, for it is not permitted for them to speak, but they are commanded to be under the obedience as such as sake the law. 35. And they will learn anything, let them learn from their husbands at home, for it's a shame for a woman to speak in the church. So if the woman gonna learn something, she gotta learn it from her husband at home, the husband that's in the faith. Like I said, I wouldn't be, if your husband's saying, we need to have threesomes, I need to go in your bank account every time you make some money, I need to know what you're doing every second, I'm gonna put a GPS on your car, like, that's going off. That's going off. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is the man of the Lord. You learn from the man of the Lord. And like I said, the women of the day, the Lord, they've been bamboozled and thinking they should have all of this freedom and all of these things, and not saying they shouldn't have a life or anything like that is subject just to the man. No, there's a balance in everything, and that's the so-called white man has showed you all of this wicked stuff about it, and now we're in a world where it's so confusing. You live in Babylon the Great. This is Babylon. This is ancient Babylon. This is Egypt. This is Sodom and Gomorrah, Assyrian, Roman, Greek, Persian, Medes, all in one. This is all in one, coming together. So you got to learn from a man that's in the faith, because he's going to teach you, hopefully he's teaching you the right stuff, because if he's not, then the Lord is gonna, the Lord did that, man. It's all according to the Lord, and then according to us, it's according to the Lord. So I wanted to get one more scripture, I believe. Luke, what's Lot's wife? If we go to Luke, St. Luke. I think it's Luke 16. No, Luke 17. Luke 17. Luke 17:32. Remember Lot's wife. Everybody can remember Lot's wife. We go back to Genesis 19. Let's start at the 23rd verse. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. That's just a place where he ran to get away from the 5 cities in Sodom and Gomorrah. Verse 24, then the Lord Yahweh rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord Yahweh out of the heavens. So brimstone and fire came from the heavens. Can you imagine you just chilling and damn fire and brimstone start coming out of the air, burning up everything and all of that stuff? Verse 25, and he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the city and that which grew upon the ground. Verse 26, here's the point. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. Because in that time Lot had so much, him and Abram, they had so much they had to too much separate. I'm talking about, think about Lot in his day. He had all the riches. He would be like probably a Mayweather in his day, you know, all the riches in the world. You know, you don't need anything. You got all the money. You don't made all the money. Like, you got a lot of riches, you know. Your money is making money. So basically that's what I can see, you know, that's what type of life Lot lived. But Lot was still like, man, I hate this place. I need to get out of here. This is too much. Come on, Lord, what you gonna do about this, man? They just doing the wickedness of the all, and I'm a wealthy man in here. You know, what are you gonna do to me? But he moved Lot and Abraham out the way. You know, and but his wife, she turned around and was turned into a pillar of salt, because salt was a heavy mining. It was the top mining. It was the top deal at the time, mining salt. So she turned back and got turned into a pillar of salt. I mean, it's no looking back, you know. So with that, I want to say shalom, and all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadash. I hope you was edified. I hope I spoke truth and nothing deceitful. I hope the Holy Spirit, if I did do something incorrect, the Holy Spirit will correct me and guide me and let me know if I did anything wrong. All right. Call Halalayunum Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors and salutations to the apostles and elders and teachers of GMS. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and shalom, and hopefully I see you on the next video, the Lord willing. Shalom.